We welcome you to our first presentation of Friday Night Football here on FastPlaySports.com. We are introducing high-definition video for the first time on the high school gridiron, and this area is going to be very excited about the potential we have for showcasing high school athletics. Welcome to the sports campus of Northwestern High School outside Kokomo, Indiana. My name is Alan James. And as I introduce my broadcast partner tonight, Mark Hollingsworth, Holly, we couldn't have a more electrified setting as two undefeated teams in the MIC face off, the Western Panthers versus the Northwestern Tigers.
I'm glad to be here, Alan. I'm glad to be with you. You're right. They're both 3-0 and 1-0, 2-0 in the conference. Last year, Northwestern traveled to Western, and Western was beaten by them 28-13. Both teams this year are undefeated. They're 3-0, and Western has hammered their opponents by a combined score of 116-11. Northwestern has outscored their opponents 77-14. I'm looking forward to watching this football game. This is going to be a thriller tonight.
Yeah, they're about to introduce these teams onto the field here for this fourth week of high school football here, and I'll tell you, it's been a while since I've been to this stadium, new press box pretty much, and a facility that they are so proud of here at Northwestern.
Yeah, they've done a great job with it. I used to coach here quite a while ago, and basically the press box that they had here actually was so tall and wasn't very sturdy. It got blown over.
Yeah.
So they came up with this new press box, and Dan and the Northwestern administrators have done a great job with this facility.
Absolutely. Western Panthers running onto the field right here as we're minutes away from kickoff here tonight. Tigers will be out here shortly. We're going to take a quick break and play some words from our sponsors, and we'll be back here to set the stage for the kickoff here tonight from Northwestern here at FastPlaySports.com. We are Fast Play. Beauty.
Let's spend a little time in Kokomo, Indiana. We see what time with friends looks like, what an evening on the town looks like, and a community that knows its history can inspire its future. This is the story we see all around us, the story of a greater Kokomo.
Back we are at Northwestern High School. This is high-def video of high school football. We're really proud to present it for the first time here tonight at FastPlaySports.com. I'm Alan James along with Mark Hollingsworth, and getting ready for the Northwestern Tigers to make their entry onto the field. And God, we got fog and everything for these guys. What a show they're putting on here in this big rivalry in the MIC.
Yes, we do. And I'm impressed with the helmet that they run through.
Well, you know, there are a lot of games here tonight, and one of them that we'll be trying to get some scores on tonight is the Hamilton Heights at Cass game. That's another MIC contest. Taylor is at Peru, another MIC game. Eastern at Maconaquah. Top two defenses in the MIC are facing off in this game here tonight. And that is going to be what we think is really going to set the tone here with these two high school football teams. Defense wins football games.
Yes, it does. I believe that we're going to see a defensive struggle here. I really believe, though, you've got to look, and as a coach, you've got to be worried about your special teams, and you've got to be worried about turnovers, because great defenses create turnovers. I think whoever wins the turnover battle, the fumble recoveries, I think is probably going to be the team that wins tonight.
Now, when you do some analysis of these two teams in preparation tonight's contest, as you were evaluating Northwestern, strength of their offense is running game.
Yeah, it is the running game. It's their ace back, or some people call him the fullback. His name is Plummer. His name is Michael Plummer. He comes from a family of football players.
Oh, yeah.
His dad, his grandfather is Jim Plummer, and everyone in this area knows Jim Plummer. He coached at Western and Hamilton Heights for a very long time, and he's like the dean of Howard County football.
All the way. And when you look at Western, they're pretty balanced. I watched them play against Taylor last week. Of course, it was a smashing game, winning with over 50 points and shutting out Taylor in the contest last week. But I saw quarterback Bellis throw a beautiful rainbow pass catching the receiver in stride and scoring probably a 55-yard touchdown. May have been more. I didn't get the stats on it, but I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful thing to see. So when you see a veteran quarterback like Western has against a younger quarterback that Northwestern has, this is going to set some of the tempo for what kind of action we're going to see here tonight.
There is obvious a difference between the two quarterbacks. One is a freshman for Northwestern, and the other one is experienced. One of the things that I think also stands out for Western's offense is that all three of their running backs, including their quarterback, runs the football. Two of the backs, Ryan Alexander and Ben Lenahan, they average 5 yards per carry, and Drew Bellis, the quarterback, averages 8 yards per carry. So all three of them can run the football. But the thing about it is Western's very patient. They will grind it out. Then all at once they'll blow one for 60 yards, and you're in trouble.
Well, we were also talking about the Northwestern defense, and, you know, we're also inundated with professional football and college football. At the high school level, it's getting even more and more complicated to coach a scheme on defense, and you're going to see Northwestern moving their linebackers around. It's going to be difficult to see what kind of a real set they have because they're already showing a lot of movement for a high school team.
There's no doubt about that. Northwestern's been known in the past to run a 4-4 defense, but with his talent, I think John has looked at different defenses, but, you know, a 6-2 can very easily be changed into a 4-4, or 4-4 can be slid down into 6-2. So it'll be interesting. You might see more of the 4-4 look on the pass downs, and the run downs will probably be the 6-2.
Well, they're warming up on the sidelines there as you see the Tigers as they are going to kick off on the field to Western to start this game here in moments. They're setting the ball on the tee at pretty much the 40-yard line as we kick off here at high school level.
And Northwestern took the win in the first quarter. They're kicking with the win.
Pardon me. We'll get this contest going. This is one of the biggest in the state of Indiana here tonight. These two undefeated teams at 3-0 face off for bragging rights in the conference, and we'll also keep an eye on what Peru is doing tonight too, because they're the other undefeated team in the MIC here so far this season. Here comes Western as they get the ball across to about the 30-yard line here to start play, and I don't know about you, but I thought I saw a face mask on that tackle.
I did too.
But
it looked like the face mask got him stopped.
You know what? It's funny. We're looking into the sun, and as you can see our camera angle here from the press box side of the field, it's bright to the west, and even a referee would have a hard time seeing things in that direction, and I think that's where the face mask took place and didn't get called. Here comes the first play for Western. They're going to run it outside, quarterback keeper, and that's going to be Drew Bellis, and is that Bellis wearing the number 15 here for us tonight?
Wow. It looks like a change here.
Just, you know, there could be a difference.
15 is Bellis.
Yep, Bellis with the keeper on that.
Yep.
Gained about almost 5 yards on the play, so it'll be about 2nd and 5 for Western here on the first drive of this fantastic ball game to kick off our high-def video coverage for you here at FastPlaySports.com. Handoff this time. That goes to running back Ryan Alexander for just a couple of yards, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down here for Western. Just getting started here in this game with about opening drive inside a minute going by already here.
Right now, Northwestern's defense looks like they're in a 5 front.
Well, we'll keep an eye on what shenanigans those linebackers are going to do to stop Western here at about a 3rd and 2.5. Here comes Bellis handing off. Oh, he keeps it that time. Look at how they stuffed him.
Oh, yeah.
The right side of the Tigers defense stood him up, but I don't know if they're going to give him that forward progress after the whistle or nope. They stopped him where forward progress ended, and that is going to stuff that Panthers offense on this drive, and now it's 4th down for Western.
The linebackers for Northwestern really played aggressive on that last play. They came up and filled very, very hard.
Well, when you're coaching defense like that, though, I mean, turning that play inside is the first key, and they did that right away. Bellis had no place to run, and now they're going to punt. Bellis was punting for the team earlier this year, but looks like we're getting the services of Corey Hinkle out there right now. Short punt right there. Takes a little bit of a bounce, picked up just by the 38-yard line and stuffed down. Nice special teams play by Logan Shepard there.
Logan Shepard, number 58.
Yeah,
nice stick.
Yeah, he keeps the ball right where it landed pretty much, and Northwestern's now going to go on offense and get their first look at the ball. They only had about 2 minutes of possession time for Western on that first drive and did not generate a first down on that first drive for Western. We'll see what the Tigers can do as they bring in the play from the sidelines. Quarterback is Trey Richmond. We talked about him. He is a freshman, number 17. And he is going to hand off in that wing T offense. And, boy, I tell you, great gap protection there for the Western defenses. They were able to seal that hole up real quick and really no gain on that first play.
Yes,
for the Tigers.
It was, and no surprise. They started out in their 4-3 base defense.
And they pretty much stay, as I've watched Western play, they stay in that 4-3. They're very, very disciplined. Linebackers keep their head on a swivel. They're looking for the ball carrier, looking for the quarterback if he's going to drop back to pass. Very disciplined defense, the Western Panthers. All right, here come the Tigers up to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback under center, going to pitch out to the right this time. And a nice run and a first down for the Northwestern Tigers. They have this crowd electrified right now with their first big play in this ball game. Comes to the home team, Northwestern Tigers. Nice big run, 1st and 10.
Plummer exploded over the right side and got the corner turned and went right down the sideline.
That's our man with all that football blood in his veins. Pitch out to the left side this time. Lots of running room once again as they make the corner, stiff arm, and fall forward for probably a 6-yard gain for the Northwestern Tigers. They're able to run the ball in the early parts of this drive against this Western defense that we've been talking about as being a very disciplined defense. They're giving up the corners right now against this Tigers offense.
Yes, they are. The edges are a little soft. Plummer has gone right, and they came back to around the left end and did a nice job.
Yeah, Logan Macalusa on that last carry for the Tigers. Under center, 2nd and 1. Going to hand off this time to Plummer once again, and he's going to pound forward. We'll see if that forward progress will get him that first down, but right up the middle for the Tigers on 2nd down. And it looks like they're going to mark it as no gain. And it's going to be 3rd and short once again as the Tigers are looking to convert their second first down opportunity here against the Panthers. Bring him up to the line here. Freshman quarterback Trey Richmond could carry it himself, but he hands off to Plummer. Plummer puts his head down and gets the first down for Northwestern. And that is going to be a first down for the Tigers.
I was a little shocked to that play. I mean, Western stayed in their 4-3 on a short yardage play, maybe expecting a run on the outside, and Plummer hit the hole and put his head down and got the first down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Western has been very tough so far this year, especially up the middle. I mean, they don't give up a lot of rushing yards.
No, they don't.
And so far, right up the middle works for the Tigers as they come up here 1st and 10. Richmond under center is going to get things rolling back up the middle again. They kind of like the softness of that Western Panthers defense right now. That was Plummer once again with the ball, but not a whole lot to give up that time.
Nope, 2nd and 9, and the Western defense stiffened up in the middle. John's probably setting up a little outside play here now. Or this would be a good place to pass.
We haven't really seen a pass play yet from either team. But we'll see if they sneak one out here with 2nd and long for the Tigers. Nice view of the play from the field. Yep, there it is. There's the pass play.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, what a nice play.
Yes.
Perfectly done. Dustin Hinkle catches the beautiful ball. I take that back. That's it was number 10 for Northwestern on that play, and I got it mixed up there, so I called the wrong kid. We got somebody else subbing in on that particular play.
John faked to the middle, right? Just same play action that he'd run the last 2 plays, pulled it out, and hit the man wide open.
Yeah, mark that. Looking for the number 10 on the Northwestern roster tonight. I can't find him anywhere. So he's kind of a rogue player here as we get a running play that goes nowhere once again for the Tigers as they're marching down the field inside the 20-yard line now. In scoring position, as they would say in most leagues. Run into play from the sidelines. Panthers haven't given up a score in a couple of games here, actually, so this could be new for the Panthers if Northwestern can actually get in and score. Look at this shotgun formation for the Tigers. They're passing again. Boy, look at that. Beautiful completion once again for the Tigers. Freshman quarterback Trey Richmond connects with Logan Macaluso. First down and goal for the Tigers here as they are trying to get the first score in this big MIC contest here tonight.
I'm really interested to see if Northwestern changes their, Western changes their defense here.
Yeah, ball's on the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
This is an easy punch for a good running team.
Yes, they have.
Richmond's under center this time. Hands off to Plummer, wide open hole, and a touchdown for the Tigers. Boy, they made that look easy. That wing tee just opened up a hole, and you and I could have run through that one. That's old cliche, I realize, but we probably could have.
I think so.
Plummer had it easy.
Oh, over the right guard, that hole opened up like I cannot believe.
But I'll tell you what, you talk about balance from this offense from the Northwestern Tigers as they come marching down the field 62 yards, a great balance of running and passing. And hand it to Trey Richmond. He's 2 for 2 as he's been passing, and he's thrown for some good yards.
And I hope people remember that he's a freshman.
That's right. Well, the field goal is good, and it's going to be a 7-0 lead for the Northwestern Tigers as we just complimented one heck of a drive, complemented by some good discipline running and some awesome passing from freshman quarterback Trey Richmond. Still trying to find that kid. Is that Logan Galbraith? Is that? Yeah, that's the guy. We'll have to write him in here because he's the one that caught that first pass from Richmond, and he was off to the races. Logan Galbraith,
senior.
That's something we talked about too. Between these two teams, upperclassmen reign true with these two varsity squads. You've got a lot of seniors and a sprinkle of juniors for Western in their roster, and much of the same for Northwestern with the exception of their freshman quarterback.
Their freshman quarterback, yeah.
So these are two experienced teams, and it certainly does support the fact that they're undefeated in the MIC after 3 weeks of play. And this is what they call a colossal matchup in high school athletics here tonight. 7-0 lead for the Tigers as they're ready to kick off to the Western Panthers for their second series in this ball game. Just short of a 5-minute drive for Northwestern on that touchdown series. Here comes Glenn for the Western Panthers as he's trying to get some room, and he does make his way out to about the 30-yard line, and that's where the Panthers offense is going to set up to try and answer to the score that the Northwestern Tigers just gave us in a brilliant drive to get on the board first here in this game.
Western got a nice return on that kickoff return. This is the second time they've used the cross, and the people on the front line are crossing, the people on the second line are crossing, and it kind of opens up a little hole in the middle. It may explode open later.
All right, Drew Bellis brings his team to the line, and he hands off up the middle, and there's a little bit of running room, but not a whole lot, maybe a yard on the carry as he handed it off to Ben Lenahan for the Panthers. Their first drive, they got to about 8-9 yards on that first drive and then had to punt, so they're looking for much more production from the Panthers offense this time out. I'll give them credit for about maybe 2.5 yards on that carry. It's second and about 7 for the Panthers as they come to the line.
This might be another place for Western does play action and throws the football also.
Motion for Western. Oh, we're going to pitch it out this time. That's Alexander who gets around the corner and finds a little bit of running room. They're chipping away at it here at this stage of the game. Now they're still going to be showing almost 3rd and 4 coming up for the Panthers. Nice shot of high-definition video coverage here of this Western at Northwestern game for you here at FastPlaySports.com. Here we go, third down run, gets hit in the backfield, and I'll tell you, that run gets stalled. Alexander back to the line of scrimmage, maybe got a yard. It's going to be short once again for the Western Panthers, as that Northwestern Tigers defense has been tough against Western so far.
I don't believe Western's got a first down yet.
No, they haven't.
I didn't think so.
This is their second series, and they've been shut down twice. Now, it's a little closer in this scenario, a little more than a yard to go for the first down. It looks like Western's going to go for it this time. Drew Bellis brings his team to the line. They're going to go for it on fourth down. They need a yard to get the first down. It'll be their first in the game. Handoff up the middle. They got the first down and that much more. Confidence in the Panthers coaching staff. Ben Lenahan carries the ball through a big hole by that offensive line for Western, and they get the first down. And that's their first down in the ball game so far. Now that we've got the Panthers moving, we've got about 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter of play. We'll see if they loosen up the play calling a little bit.
I think they might.
Haven't seen Bellis throw the ball yet. He hands it off, pitches it out really, and that's going to go for a loss. I'll tell you, the Tigers defense is swarming, and the Panthers haven't really come up with an answer for that just yet. And they're going to lose yardage, mark them about maybe a yard loss on the play, so it's going to be second and maybe 11 for the Panthers, and they're going to have to find a place to find progress against this Tigers defense. And we were talking about that. The movement. It's hard to get a good read on what that defense is going to do because they're moving those linebackers all over.
You know one thing about their defensive ends, or they could be outside linebackers. They do not let people outside.
They jump.
Yep.
We'll see if they call that against the defense or if they were drawn off by the offense. And they're calling it offsides against Northwestern. That's going to mark off 5 to the benefit of this drive so far. So that's going to give it a second down and about 6 yards to go for the first down. First quarter of play from Northwestern High School. Western with the ball. Bellis hands off again. A little bit of running room there to the right side. And, boy, enough for probably a first down. Oh, no, we got a fumble. Boy, Northwestern on the sideline, they were all calling for it, and that's exactly what happens. It's Northwestern ball after the fumble. Good carry for Western, enough for a first down, but the fumble, change of possession, and now Northwestern gets the ball back and a chance to go down methodically like they did last possession and perhaps score again.
Western had a great drive going, a couple first downs, went on fourth down, made a first down, fumbles the ball after a great run. I said one of the things that will probably determine this game is turnovers and special team play.
Yeah, Christian Glenn had the ball for the Panthers and gave it up at the end of the play. Here comes Northwestern. After a successful drive with a touchdown last time, here comes Plummer around the right side of the he gets about a 4-yard gain on that play as he's pushed out of bounds. But I tell you, they're just getting to the corners faster than the Panthers are, and they keep moving the ball.
Yeah, Western's defensive ends aren't stringing this out they just aren't stringing this out, and the corners are playing a little soft, and Plummer's getting the corners turned.
Yeah, one of the things you see in all levels of football is the defense's ability to keep the play inside, not allowing it to get outside where there's a lot of open running room, and that's what you're trying to see.
And that's when you get the one-on-one tackle. Here he goes.
All right. This time Plummer cuts inside, but the pursuit from the linebackers puts a stop on that play. And that was some pretty good pursuit there that time. It looked like it was it Quentin Fields who made the tackle on that play, number 24.
Number 24.
There's a linebacker who was operating exactly where the ball carrier was, and no gain on the play for the Tigers. So they're looking at about 3rd and 6 for the first down. The toughest plays they've had. They're back to pass. Oh, lots of pressure, but he gets the ball out. It's caught, and it's really not going to go anywhere. Penalty flag comes out. Perhaps a face mask around the press box is what they're calling for. And
What if it's personal foul, late hit?
Did you see perhaps a late hit on
that? I didn't see that yet. I'm wondering.
It's a
because
little
it was
hard
right on
to
the
see.
sideline.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see right now with the sun in our eyes. Our camera work is actually a little bit easier to look at than our own. Well, here's what's going to happen. If they call it a dead ball foul, if it was a late hit like you talked about, I'm not sure that it means automatic first down or not. We'll have to wait and see. They marked off a 5-yard penalty, but that would be short of the first down. And here comes the call from the referee.
It was face mask.
Yeah, but it was not
intentional. It was, I guess,
not enough. So third down, I guess are they replaying the down? Is that what we're doing here? So we keep it at third down. This gives the Tigers another chance to get that first down. They're about 3rd and 1.
Would you want to bet Plummer up the middle somewhere?
And there it is. Plummer right up the middle. Second effort's probably going to get that first down. Boy, they had good pursuit on him, led by number 24, Quentin Fields of the Panthers defense again. But with the second effort, Plummer gets the first down, and the Tigers get a fresh 4 here.
2 big things in this game already. Turnover by Western, penalty, gave him a first down. Almost the first down.
There you have it. Oh, no doubt about that. Gave him an extra chance at it, and they got it because Western's defense did hold before the penalty came out. All right, fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Got Richmond under center. He's going to razzle-dazzle in the backfield and try to hand it off to Macalusa, but that doesn't get anywhere for the Tigers, so that's no gain on the play, maybe even a loss of a yard. And that's going to be second down coming up as the clock ticks down to under 15 seconds now here in the first quarter. Northwestern with a brilliant opening possession drive for a touchdown, and Western has not been able to answer just yet. The first quarter is history here in this colossal matchup between undefeated teams in the MIC. Northwestern's ahead of Western 7-0. We'll be back after these messages here at FastPlaySports.com. That's right, we are Fast Play.
Let's look a little closer at Kokomo, Indiana, and we see what an economic comeback looks like. What open for business and open for new opportunities looks like. We see how leadership in the region can be an example to a nation, and reinvention will lead the way to new possibilities. This is the story of leadership through the generations, the story of a greater Kokomo. Let's tell the story of Kokomo, Indiana, one steeped in innovation and American know-how. The story of companies that challenge the very idea of what's possible, told by a skilled workforce that grows more resilient with each generation. And a community that reinvents itself to meet new challenges. This is the story we see all around us, the story of a greater Kokomo.
We're back. We are at Northwestern. They have the ball, and it's second down, and here comes Richmond back to pass. He throws it up. It's caught again.
Great catch.
Man, I'll tell you what. This freshman quarterback is lit up here tonight. Connects on an awesome pass play to tight end Billy Parslow. Big gain for the Tigers. Big first down, and I'll tell you what, he is. He's at 4 completions in this game. He's 4 for 4.
He's 4 for 4, and I'll tell you what, Billy is a great target. He's over 6 foot tall. Great hands, great catch on that. Nice concentration.
Right back to the line. Richmond under center this time. He's going to go back to pass again. Rolling left, throws it out into the flat, and it's caught again. Another 10-yard gain for the Tigers. That time throwing it out there to Logan Macalusa. And I'll tell you what, this connection in the passing game is doing heavy damage on the Western Panthers here in this first half.
Macaluso is also a nice target. He's 6'1", 170. Made a nice out route, caught the football. No one there.
Boy, a lot of changes for the Tigers on offense this time as they swap out 3 different players here in this particular package. And look at all these receivers coming out wide for Northwestern. This time they do hand it off once again. Was that
nice,
Macalusa?
yeah.
That wasn't Macalusa that time. He's part of one of the wholesale changes that were made here on the Northwestern offense this time. Number 16, Cameron Oden, was the ball carrier that particular time, and I'll tell you, he got outside but got hammered for about a 2-yard gain for the Tigers.
Number 34, Ben
Lenihan?
Yeah, Ben Lenihan made the stick on that.
Under center. Goes up the middle with Plummer this time, and not a lot of running room, but he picks up a few yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 5 yards to convert this into a 1st down. Ball is on the 15-yard line for the Northwestern Tigers. It still is technically their 2nd possession here in this ball game after a fumble recovery. They've been able to move this ball now in the 2nd quarter. Back to pass is Richmond. He's looking. He's got, nice defense that time.
Nice
no
play.
Flags on the play. Excellent defense by Kendall McDonald. He was the guy who really got in there and knocked that ball away.
Yes, he did.
Again, that's the first incompletion.
Yeah.
It's the first time they've missed.
Kendall had a shot at, if he could have picked that off, he could have gone down the sidelines all the way. There wasn't anything in front of him. It was nice defense by Kendall.
4th down now for the Tigers. Richmond's under center this time. He's got a hard count, but Western gets back. They throw, and it's caught and looks like, it's inside for the touchdown. How about that? Great effort by Keegan Downey to catch that ball and fight his way into the end zone as Western was trying to tackle him. And I'll tell you what, passing game of the Tigers here tonight has been excellent.
Right now, Western's defense is on their heels. They don't know whether to see pass. They don't know whether it's going to be run. Yeah, Northwestern's offense is doing a tremendous job. Great call play by John.
Oh, no kidding. And another field goal attempt now to add the extra point. The kick is up, and it looks good. That's 14-0 now. Northwestern Tigers hosting the Western Panthers in this clash of the undefeateds here in the MIC. And I'm sure this is like a shot heard around the world for teams like Peru, who are also undefeated and playing tonight, and wondering what these two teams are doing right now. Unbelievably, right now, 14-0 Northwestern. And, well, the Panthers go back on offense, and they're just going to have to start loosening up a little bit and getting some more diverse play calls.
I think they are, because right now Northwestern's playing the run game, and Western hasn't had a lot of success. A little success up through the middle, quick openers, but around the outside, not much luck there, and I'm not sure Western is going to pass tonight.
Well, and as much as, and I hate to use this as an excuse for players, but, the sunshine here, the way it is coming across the field, that has an effect on the players as well.
It sure does.
And,
if
when
you're looking back,
you're looking into the sun like
yes,
this.
You're on the east side of the field, and you're looking back, and the ball's coming from the west side. It's going to affect your ability to catch the football. But Northwestern is throwing both sides of
they've been owning this game
and done a good job of catching the football.
Well, the Tigers went up and beat Cass last weekend in their MIC opener, and of course Cass in kind of a rebuilding year.
To go to Lewis Cass, I don't care if it's rebuilding or not, and face Coach Mannering, and you win there, you've done a heck of a job.
We got room here as a great return on the kickoff return for Western out near the 50-yard line. Pardon me, we've got great return from Kendall McDonald for the Western Panthers that time, as he's going to set this offense up in great field position right here just past the 50-yard line into Northwestern territory. Take that back, we're at about the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Western doesn't have to get in a hurry here. They've got 9:48 left. They need to run the football because that's what they do the best.
And that is Western Panthers football right there as they hand off. Ryan Alexander goes right up the middle, and the offense holds their blocks, and he gets about a 7-yard gain on that carry.
Yeah, I expect Nate Andrew to do this. He needs a touchdown here. He needs to eat the clock up, regroup at halftime.
Good size offense and defensive lines here out on the field right now. Bellis, a little bit of a mix-up on the play, it looked like, and Bellis ended up keeping it. He was tripped up in the backfield, so that's a small loss for the Panthers here, but it brings up yet another critical third down for this offense, and it's not been a given for the Western Panthers on these third down conversions so far in this game.
Tremendous penetration on that last play by the Northwestern front.
Boy, Western really needs this one to get
Yes,
themselves
they do.
back in this game. Bellis under center. He's trying to draw some Tigers off, and the referees don't like the way that one started.
No, they don't.
They call the play dead. Flag on the play. Take a look at
Illegal procedure call?
Yeah, movement on the offense, so that's going to make it even harder. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd and long now for the Panthers, and you wonder, do we dial up the same play we had just a moment ago in that short yardage, or do we dial up something new here?
I'd say 3rd and 9 would be a new call. I would say maybe you reach in the old hat and pull out the trick play here. Some form of trick play.
Kendall McDonald into the game for the Panthers here on this 3rd and long. That's a good 3rd and 9 right there. Bellis is back to pass for the first time. He throws it out there. Boy, the catch is bobbled by Kyler Vale. But I'll tell you, that's their first pass of the game. They connect, but with a little better pass, could have caught him in stride. He might have had enough room to get to the first down. That's going to bring up a 4th down now for the Western Panthers. This is a tough decision. When you look at field position, things like that, this is going to be a good 4th and 6.
Might be a good place for a timeout.
They're calling 4th and 7. Clock rolling at 7:50 here in the first half, and you talk about needing a timeout right now. May not be a bad idea, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Timeout on the field. We're going to take a quick break, be back here in 30 seconds as you're watching our high-def video coverage of the Western Panthers and Northwestern Tigers here tonight on FastPlaySports.com. That's right, we are Fast Play.
Let's spend a little time in Kokomo, Indiana. We see what time with friends looks like, what an evening on the town looks like, and a community that knows its history can inspire its future. This is the story we see all around us, the story of a greater Kokomo.
Western called a timeout there on this 4th and 7. They need this first down. They need to actually go all the way down and score on this drive to keep up with the Northwestern Tigers up 14-0 here.
I would agree with you, but if you play statistics properly here, you better punt the football, regroup at halftime, come out. You don't want to go in 21-0.
Well, Holly, you're the coach, and you called it exactly right as Western comes out in their punt formation, but now Northwestern calls a timeout. They were probably anticipating that Western was going to go for it, so now they have to have a little bit of a talk and perhaps some personnel changes.
John probably also smells maybe a fake punt out of this, so maybe he should keep his defense out there and put one man back, play it safe.
Well, this is a real critical moment in this game.
Yes, it is.
I mean, what happens in these final 7 minutes and 32 seconds is probably going to make or break this game for one of the other teams here. Which one is going to be prevailing here? There's still a lot of football left. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But I'll tell you what, going into the locker room down by 3 touchdowns or 3 scores, whichever way it might be, that's going to be hard on these high school athletes. So, there's a lot of momentum that's going to swing with the outcome of this next play.
Absolutely. We don't have Peyton Manning out there tonight, and 21 points for a high school football team.
I think Trey Richmond is giving Peyton Manning a run for his money here tonight.
I think you may be right. But I'll tell you, 21 points for a high school team to come back and then try to win a ball game and score again, it's very hard to do.
Well, we are in our inaugural webcast here at FastPlaySports.com, and I want to tell you that, again, we are excited about this opportunity to present high-definition video in high school athletics. Yeah, it's a really cutting edge, and we want to thank Dan Armstrong, the athletic director here at Northwestern, for allowing us to be here tonight and to really get a feel for how we can do this. Here comes the punt formation now for Western as you just get hit the punter just out of the camera view there, and boy, they're going to reverse the reception there. He kind of missed that, or we didn't pick it up on the camera, but it wasn't really to much avail. They were looking at somewhat of a conservative return here for the Tigers, and they're going to take the ball just shy of the 25-yard line, and the Tigers will be 1st and 10 with a 2-score lead. Western Panthers defense has got to stiffen and try and get their team the ball back so they can get on the board here before halftime.
Yes, they do. Coach Hendricks will probably be a little bit conservative at that end of the field. He's got 7 minutes to play. He would like to eat the clock up. So I expect something up the middle, and it'll probably be Mr. Plummer.
All right. Under center is this fabulous quarterback for Northwestern, Trey Richmond, and boy, the ball was loose. That would have been a big momentum changer for the Panthers, but Richmond falls on it, and the Tigers are going to keep the ball, lose a little bit of territory right there, but I think they're breathing a sigh of relief with maintaining the possession.
I wouldn't have gone in at halftime if I would have fumbled that ball and lost it for Coach Hendricks.
Yeah. All right, we'll get Galbraith comes to the sideline for Northwestern. Here comes that offense to the line. Right there in the trenches is the camera view that you see. In motion, this is going to put Richmond back to pass as he's looking, and he completes another pass. Nice balance, staying on top of things. Number 80, Keegan Downey. Another reception from Trey Richmond. And this will be close to a first down for Northwestern. It looks like it is. They're moving the chains. First down for the Tigers. A little more than 6 minutes left in this first half, and Western still hasn't come up with an answer for this Tigers offense here tonight.
I am really impressed with Trey Richmond. What composure. Setting his feet, following through with the football. Nice job.
I was trying to look at his height. He's only 6'2", but he looks like he's about 6'8" out there in this game. But all kinds of running room for Northwestern as we see another ball carrier in the game for the Tigers. Taking a look at, try to get a number on that ball carrier. It looks like it was number 23 that time. And that would be Karen Holman for the Tigers. Sophomore out there on the left side, and I'll tell you what, lots of running room. Another first down for the Tigers. They're at the 50-yard line, and they're looking for here their third possession of the game and a third score. Outside he comes to, ball is out. They're fighting for it here. See who's going to get it.
Western number 15 came up with it.
Western's trying to get the ball, and they get it. Turnover for the Tigers as a great defensive stand as the pursuit of those linebackers of the Panthers came up and knocked the ball loose. Boy, that ball came out. I thought I could grab it. It was there so vividly. That's the turnover the Panthers needed to try and keep pace with the Tigers. They're going to have it. First down and 10 in Tigers territory at the 46-yard line. Now we'll see if Western can get this ball moving here for the first time in this game. Bellis hands off. Got some great running room behind the mammoth line of the Panthers. That was Ryan Alexander with the carry, and he scampered for probably 8 yards on that carry. Bring out about second and a long 2. Clock rolling here. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. This is the time the Panthers got to step up and get in the end zone. Bellis back to pass. Quick out into the flat. He gets enough for the first down. Ben Lanahan with the catch for the Panthers and the first down yardage. That's the kind of stuff you want to see your offense doing, executing on quick pass plays. That's a good sign.
Absolutely. He'll probably go back to the quick one up the middle, off right tackle, left tackle here.
Down to the 36-yard line. Panthers take the ball, 1st and 10. Bellis under center, and they go right back up the middle again. That one did not do as much as it did in a couple previous plays. Alexander only for a couple of yards on that particular carry. Looks like they're going to give him about 3 yards on that carry. It's second down and a long 7, we'll call it. There's that Western offense. Bellis pitches it out. He gets to the outside. He's going to be a little short of the first down, but we're still moving the ball. Third down coming up for the Panthers. A desperate need to score now for the Panthers because they have got to put something on the board to keep up with the Tigers before this first half is over.
Yes, they do. This is a very important score for them. Go in only down by 7 makes a world of difference.
This is a big play here. Third and about 3. Here we go. Bellis under center. Motion coming our way.
Going back to Ben.
He takes off to Lanahan. He's got enough for a first down, and he keeps carrying the pile for more yardage, and that puts him inside the 20-yard line here. First and 10 for the Panthers. 4 minutes left in this first half. The Panthers getting the kind of drive they needed, and they got to keep it going as the clock keeps ticking here in this first half.
The workhorse is, there's no doubt about it, is Ben. He's a tough runner.
Bellis hands off this time. He's back to pass. How about that? And I'll tell you, all kinds of coverage there for the Tigers. There were 3 players in coverage down there, and 1 Panther trying to get to the ball, and the ball was way off its mark that time. But a good play call on first down to try and catch Northwestern off guard. But
yep, 1 receiver out.
Couldn't connect. Second and 10 now. This is a big down for the Western Panthers. See them right at about the 20-yard line. Bellis, he's going to pitch out to the right side. Oh, I'll tell you, boy, Lanahan, I tell you, he was fighting for anything he could get some daylight there, but the swarming Northwestern defense shut him down at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't look like they were able to move the ball at all. It's 3rd and 10 now for the Panthers. They keep putting themselves back to these desperate third down conversions.
Yes, they do.
It's been that way the whole game. So, you look at where your strengths are. They've had a lot of strength up the middle, but, boy, 3rd and 10, that's a tough one to call right now.
Yes, it is.
Bellis under center. Boy, a little misdirection up toward the middle, a counter play, but that gets snuffed out by the Tigers defense. And, boy, I tell you, I don't even know. No gain, maybe a small loss on the play. Big 4th down now for the Western Panthers. They have been stuffed many a time here, especially on 3rd down by the Northwestern Tigers defense.
I don't think we'll see a field goal because I don't think Western has.
They're setting up for a field goal opportunity here.
This is going to be a 30-yarder.
Yeah.
No, actually 36, won't it? About a 36, 37
That's
yard.
Zach Simpson to try and kick it. Looks like it's got the distance, and it's just short. Just short. And that for naught for the Northwestern Panthers. Boy, I tell you, give the credit to the Northwestern Tigers defense. Even though they were giving, they didn't break, and that's the kind of stuff you coach when you're a defensive coach.
They sure didn't. They sure didn't. They had their backs up against the wall, and they put the stop to it. They did a nice job.
Boy, just short of enough leg to get at least 3 on the board for the Panthers. They're shut out here in the first half. 2:26 left to play in this first half as Northwestern with time to score again if they can pull it off here. Shotgun formation, but great penetration from the defense. 78, Austin Burnt for Western. Is that who that was that made the stop? So. He got the great penetration. Loss of almost 5 yards on the play. That's a big defensive play for the Panthers this time, and it puts Northwestern in a precarious situation with 2nd and about 15 yards to convert for a first down. See that Logan Galbraith come back into the game for Northwestern.
I would think after this play, if there's no gain, Western will use a timeout.
Under center this time for quarterback Trey Richmond. Another pitch to the left side. Got some running room. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some. but he stopped short of the first down as Western strung it out and pushed it out of bounds. Stops the clock on the play. 1:36 remains on the clock here for this first half of play. The Northwestern Tigers with the ball and a 2-touchdown lead over the Panthers.
They put the ball in the number 4. John went back and put the ball in number 4's hand. Michael Plummer on the outside. Good, safe play.
He's had a great first half.
Yes, he has.
Third and about 6 here for the Tigers as they try to convert. He's back to pass this time. He's had an awesome game. There's Richmond going long. And it's almost intercepted. And that one leaves the players on the field a little bit stunned. Great coverage on the play for Northwestern as number 21. And we're talking about Josiah Riddle. Great defensive work there in the secondary. Bats that pass down, and that's 4th down now for the Tigers, and there's still plenty of time on this clock for something to happen. They're in punt formation right now. Western's coming back to receive.
Western needs a great return here.
Western's Christian Glenn is back to take it. Oh my gosh, what happened? The punt hit him in the helmet or something, and the ball launches back to about the 38-yard line, and the Northwestern Tigers come down with it. And they get the ball. A wild scenario there, if we caught it on camera for you, as Glenn comes up to receive that punt. It just ricochets off him and goes right back to the Tigers. They get the ball back. 1st and 10 here, 38-yard line. And
Alan,
just a
you talked to me
wild
earlier
spot.
about that sun. That could have been the sun again.
Absolutely. It's just weird how it's playing an effect. Now, up in the press box now, it's an issue, but down on the field, I don't know if it is anymore. Here come the Tigers. They're going to pass here. They want to keep this thing going. Richmond throws the ball out of bounds and takes it on the chin for the offense there, as couldn't get a good read on a receiver that time. But I'll go back. This freshman quarterback, 6'2", he had excellent connection ability here in the first half. He had 4 consecutive completions. He probably threw for almost 80 yards in those 4 completions for the Tigers. 1 was for a touchdown. Tigers look awesome here in this first half, and they're up 14-0 here with a minute 11 left in this first half of play.
It looks also like we had a penalty on Northwestern last play. That
backed him up. Oh my gosh!
I think it was holding.
Well, more than that, my gosh. I mean, that ball got marched back pretty far. They're like 1st and 27 after that. And Plummer gets the ball on the left side once again, but that play goes nowhere. So it looks like now the Tigers' strategy is maybe to run out the clock and go to the locker room with a
14-0 lead.
2-touchdown lead,
Yeah.
which is huge.
One thing about it, second half coming up, I believe Western gets the ball first possession.
Yeah, and as the lights come on here at the stadium here at Northwestern, it changes the mood of a high school player.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you start to feel differently under the lights than you do under the sun.
Like they say, the Friday night lights.
Yeah, that's exactly
Nothing better.
right. It's early in the season still. This is week number 4 of high school football, but it won't be long, and the whole game will be under the lights, and that's a whole different feeling for these student athletes. But right now, we've got a timeout on the field. We've got less than a minute left in this first half. Northwestern is looking for a way to just run out the clock on the Panthers here and go to the locker room with the 14-0 lead. And as we said, because the mood changes when you go under the lights, hey, could be a big second half for the Western Panthers.
That's true.
That's, I'm sure, what those coaches are hoping for.
And I'm telling you, when you're dealing with a 16, 17-year, 18-year-old mind, and they come out and they're up 14-0, and it's sometimes the whole complexion of the game can change.
What a nice stop up the middle that time, as Cam Herr from Western just pops the ball carrier for Northwestern for really no gain. It's a long conversion. Don't call it impossible, but the Panthers called a timeout, so that stops the clock with 50 seconds left here. And so we'll take a pause here as they have a chance to water the teams a little bit right now, and Western can be on the sidelines really having some strategy here. It's 3rd and long. I think they still have 1 timeout left.
I believe they do.
And they've got some strategy here to try and, I mean, you don't want to stop trying until the clock's at 0.
I think it depends a lot on the punt and the return of the punted ball. If they get great field position, I could see Nate throwing up some long shots.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Drew Bellis, I watched him last week against Taylor, and he had that beautiful, beautiful pass, and he looked great last week. And this is a moment when, this is what the quarterback gets paid the big bucks for. Maybe not in high school, but your quarterback is such an important guy out there. Bellis with a chance to do something special for his team, a connection, put them in scoring position, or get a score here before the half is over would be incredible. Plummer's got some running room here, but Western finally swarms up there. Oh, my gosh, maybe a turnover right here. That would be a break for the Panthers if there's a turnover here on 3rd down, and it is. The Panthers get a turnover here with just 40 seconds left in this first half, and yet a chance to get a score and break half the distance to this lead that Northwestern has in this game. Bellis has got the arm to do it. We'll see if they unleash the quarterback and his arm to put the Panthers on the board here at the end of this first half. Here comes Western to the line. More of a pro set. Receivers in tight. Bellis hands the ball off. He lets the Ben Lanahan get some coverage here, and he covers almost 10 yards on the carry. Clock is rolling here with, well, take that back. They stop the clock, and they're not moving the chains. They're calling. It's weird. They've got the ball mark past the first down. Oh, now they're moving the chains. Here we go. Well, that stops the clock, so he'll whistle the ball in play as soon as the chains are set. Western's pretty much ready to go up and get this thing going. Here we go. Back to pass. Here's Bellis this time. He's got time. He's got the pass down the field. Oh, it's intercepted. The Tigers pick off Bellis. Number 28, Evan Matlock. He brings it back to about the 42-yard line for the Tigers. That snuffs yet another opportunity for the Panthers to get on the board here. Great coverage right there.
Absolutely great coverage.
I mean, Evan Matlock had a bead on that ball from Bellis, and he stepped right in front of the receiver, gets the interception, and brings the ball out for the Tigers. And, boy, I tell you, there's only
22 seconds left.
22 seconds left, and this thing is just going to – I think they're going to run that clock out and get to the locker room. Here we go. Richmond is going to go back to pass. Well, they're not done yet. They want to keep trying things. Another reception and out of bounds for number 80, Keegan Downing. He's had a big first half, as well as Trey Richmond has with passing the ball.
I have to say I'm really surprised at that play. I really thought the ball would go on the ground. We'll eat up the clock, and that would be it.
Yeah, I don't know. This is what rivalry football is all about, though.
I agree, and I think also maybe John's trying to instill more confidence in that freshman quarterback. Hey, well, I believe in you.
He looks great here tonight, let me tell you.
Yeah, Coach Hendricks is shocking me right now.
If this is his freshman year performance, I mean, granted, we've got a lot more football left this year, but this has been outstanding for this freshman.
This is unbelievable.
Here. Back to pass again. Look at that.
Oh, look at this.
Ball goes long, and that's intercepted by Western that time. And that's going to come back the other way. It was Jake Stout who really caught a duck of a pass. That was probably the worst pass we've seen Richmond throw all evening, and it was just who could get to it. And it was Stout, number 5 for the Panthers, who picks him off. And I don't know how much time. I mean, gosh, with 8 seconds left, I mean, this is Hail Mary time for Western. Anything can happen, and as wild as this first half has been, it would not surprise me if Bellis pulled off a touchdown pass right now. We'll see what they do under center. Bellis just does a handoff up the middle. Whoa, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, my.
Oh, he stayed up the middle. Ben Lanahan, if he had some breakaway speed, he could have gone all the way right there.
I thought so.
He adds to his stats here as the first half comes to a conclusion. And I'll tell you what, even though it's 14-0 Northwestern over Western here as we go to the locker rooms, it's been a wild second half of the second quarter, and I think that's going to establish what our second half is going to look like here as we get past our halftime performance. One of the things we'll see in this halftime is the magnificent and colorful Northwestern Tigers marching band, so hopefully we'll get some nice shots of that during halftime for you here, and we hope you're enjoying our telecast, if you will, high-def high school football coverage, high-def video for you here, fastplaysports.com. Glad you're watching us online here tonight, and we'll have more chats about the first half and set up things for the second half here as we are at halftime here from Northwestern. We are Fast Play.
Let's take a closer look at Kokomo, Indiana. It's a place where firsts have a little special meaning. First cars, first radios, first day on the job, first at bat, first kiss. It's this first spirit that gave way to old world craftsmanship handed down over 100 years, where old barriers and new ground are being broken, laying the foundation for that entrepreneurial spirit in all of us. Looking for the next first that might just change the world. You may think that's a bold statement, but then they call this town the city of firsts, and emerging still as a greater Kokomo.
It's halftime here at Northwestern. FastPlaySports.com and our high-def video coverage of high school football here tonight has been very interesting to say the least. But first half with the sun setting in the west has, played havoc on cameras and the announcers' eyes and even the players at times, I'd say. But we're under the lights now. It's twilight here in northwestern Howard County, and we're about 4 minutes away from getting into the second half of this contest, and we believe it's going to be an entirely different second half for these two teams. The Northwestern Tigers are up 14-0 here at halftime, and I haven't found out any scores. Anybody know how Peru's doing tonight and how Hamilton Heights is doing tonight?
Yeah, Hamilton Heights, Lewis Cass.
Might get ask Brian Gaskins over there. He's kind of the guru of all of that stuff. Kind of a shot. You see Mark Collingsworth here on camera. See, they've got us. They're shooting us right now. I don't know where the camera is. I can't quite make it out. But is that them over there? Okay, wait. They're over here. To our left, I believe, is where we got that shot coming from. So you see us up in the press box. Not a glamorous shot of us at any rate, but it's good to be here tonight. We're talking about this technology, and this is high-definition video, which means it's capable of being part of some of the most high-resolution broadcasting that's done today, either it being on the internet or even into high-definition cable television. So the technology very much on the cutting edge and not something that is being used at the high school level and even maybe in the college level other than the big networks and so on. So what we have the opportunity to do is to produce these games with high-def resolution. We can offer the play-by-play of the game, offer that onto the internet for those that can see and perhaps other distribution sources. But it also then is archived and can be reviewed at any time when you go to our FastPlaySports.com website. And so you can review that, and you then also can look at the company for highlight videos that can be done for each of the players. So you have a kid who is working. Hey, Lauren, is your a kid? We can't really use it. We're talking about a radio. It'll distract us. But anyway, back to the product line that we can also offer in this is to offer a high-def, full graphics video presentation for a student athlete who is trying to get to college. And in all the years you've been coaching varsity, I mean, that's the hope and dream of a lot of these, especially skill set players who need those videos to get the attention of a college coach and perhaps get a scholarship.
Oh, no doubt about it. In the past when I coached, one of the hardest things for us to develop was film cuts on players to get into college level. But this is right here by Fast Play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right here for them, and basically what that will do is help them to get to the next level.
Exactly.
There's no doubt about it.
And that's a great service to the schools and a great service to these student athletes, and that's some of the vision that is being created right now by FastPlaySports.com. And we got the technology, we've got the ability to distribute it, and then we've got the services after the fact that can help these student athletes advance into college scholarships and play whatever sport they're playing at the collegiate level and really get that scholarship. That's that's so important to these kids. College is expensive, and if we can get more scholarship recipients in this area because we're giving them a much better product to present to these coaches, well, then so be it. That's a good thing.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. We want to get those kids to the next step, and that's very, very important. College education today, I'll tell you, it's almost a necessity now.
One of the other pieces of technology that's also available through our high-def presentation here tonight, and something that you as a viewer can do, is pick up a new piece of technology called Roku. This is a adapter basically that works with the Wi-Fi in your wireless internet at home and allows your television to, like, you would switch channels to switch from your cable box to your Blu-ray player. You'd have a third option, and you'd go on to the Roku, and then that has a remote for it that you can actually dial up our live stream coverage of the game and watch it on your television home, not just your computer screen. I know a lot of technology as of late has offered this on the computer, but we're talking the ability to go with a smartphone. We're talking about the ability to sit in your living room and watch this in high definition video, and that is an incredible merge. And these Roku devices are available in retail stores in Kokomo now, or you can order them online, and they're only about $50. So for $50,
For $50 and that quality of picture, there's no doubt about what I would be doing.
Yeah. I mean, right now I think we're capturing the high definition resolution better now that the sun has set. I mean, look at that picture that you're watching right now.
Beautiful.
It really is, and that is the technology at its best under the lights here for this football game here tonight. And as you visit our website often, there'll be more and more product lines coming up online, fastplaysports.com. That'll give you some items to read, some great archives in sports to watch, and who knows what else we'll be able to come up with. But there's just a plethora of ideas that can be scored here with this technology, and we're really excited to be doing our first broadcast on the internet here tonight at fastplaysports.com. And of course, we picked a great game, a great rival, and both teams come into tonight's contest undefeated. First time the Western-Northwestern game has seen that. Since what year did you think
1997, I believe.
1997.
I think back then they were both undefeated when they met, and I could be wrong on that, but I believe it was 1997.
All right, we are about ready to start the second half here at Northwestern. The Tigers with a 14-0 lead over the Western Panthers. And this is when the Panthers have been strong, is in that third quarter, and we're going to see exactly what is in store for them coming up. They're going to start on defense, though, because the Tigers, who started on defense in the first half, are going to have a shot.
They're going to have a shot
with the ball first,
right.
And they have a shot to score first here in the second half, as if they can hang on to a drive, but that's exactly what's going to happen. So we got some scores. Peru is hammering Taylor tonight. That score 40-0 at half. And Hamilton Heights and Cass are in a 14-14 tie at the half. Maconaquah is way ahead of Eastern at half, 28-0. And then some other scores tonight. Kokomo is on the road facing Huntington. Kokomo up 6-0 at the half. Got a score on the Tri-Central Clinton Prairie game. Tri-Central ahead 7-0 toward the end of the second quarter. And those are some scores from area games being played here tonight. Here it's 14-0. And Northwestern Tigers will be receiving this kick from the Western Panthers here in a moment to start our second half. We're under the lights here, and it looks gorgeous here on the screen. And you're going to get the best effects of our high-definition video coverage here at fastplaysports.com here in this second half under the lights. It's going to be thrilling. All of our camera angles are not going to be impaired by the sun. And we're going to be in good shape here in the second half. I'm Alan James along with Mark Hollingsworth. Glad to be calling this first ever high-def high school game here in Howard County. This is our Friday night game of the week, and I'll tell you what, we are certainly in store for an exciting second half. And they're ready to kick. Panthers have the ball teed up in the 40-yard line. Two Tiger return men are in place. Clock with 12 minutes on. We're ready to get the second half started here from Northwestern. Tigers with a 14-0 lead. Getting the ball from the Panthers, and there's the kick. Oh, I tell you. Nice view from our cameraman on the sideline as we get the return man up to about the 20, 21-yard line here for the Tigers to start here in the second half. Ball carrier on the play was our number 21, Josiah Riddle, on the return for the Tigers. Here we go. Offense comes to the line for the Tigers. It was an incredible first half from Trey Richmond. Gets some motion. A nice counter play coming to the left. And Tanner Weilrich with the carry. Doesn't get far, and the Panthers defense catches up to him. Looks like no gain on that first play.
There was no gain. Linehan got him. Linehan made a nice stick on him and made a nice move.
Not seeing changes really in the base defense for the Panthers. They go with that 4-3 defense. It's been rock solid throughout the year. No adjustments there except for maybe a tuned-up philosophy. 2nd and 10 now. Actually, 2nd and 12. And, pressure on the quarterback that time. Boy, look at the pressure that was applied. You had Corey Hinkle on the quarterback, Trey Richmond. And then he, of course, knocks him to the ground. A flag flies, and we'll see what the referees are calling. It looks like holding against the Tigers, and that's going to mark 10 yards off. It's going to be a long 2nd and probably 21 now for the Tigers. This is the kind of thing that you hope for as the Panthers coaching staff, because now you're putting that offense on its heels right now.
Exactly, and we're working field position. We're hoping we get them to punt and get great field position. The Panthers do, and I'm sure Coach Hendricks this is not what he wanted coming out of the locker room.
That ball on the 8-yard line here for the Northwestern Tigers, and this is a long down and distance for the Tigers, but they have been so successful in this game with the balance of running and passing. Boy, they can really get a big chunk of it with a big pass play right now if they so choose.
I kind of expect the Panthers to blitz here, put pressure on that freshman. Yep.
4 down linemen apply the rush. Oh, and that's true. In the end zone, it looks like it's going to be enough for a safety. And they call the safety. What a momentum changer for the Western Panthers here to kick off the second half. Great pressure from the right side of that Western defense. They were coming in with Corey Hinkle and Drew Bellis, and I'm pretty sure it was Hinkle who got into the face of Trey Richmond and then wrapped him up and threw him down. Unfortunately, Richmond's still on the ground there in the end zone, and hopefully he's okay, as we don't know how or what kind of injury we're dealing with him. But I tell you, he got thrown to the ground pretty hard by Hinkle, who was not going to let go, not going to give up, and give the Panthers basically their first score, a safety here to start the second half of play here at Northwestern. 14-2, and Northwestern will be required to kick the ball back to the Panthers, and they'll get their first offensive possession coming up as well.
Unless it's changed, it's from the 20-yard line.
Unfortunately, we're still seeing Richmond down on the ground. Okay, he gets up on his feet now, and perhaps he just got the wind knocked out of him. I hope that's all it was, but he seems to be walking okay and getting his senses back. All the coaching, and of course you get the great support from the medical staff that's on the sideline here for these high school athletes this day and age, which is an awesome addition to keeping the kids healthy and safe when they're playing this violent sport, as a lot of people refer to it.
Yeah.
It was violent when we played it. Now I still think it's violent, but
it is. It is
not quite as much. We used to like to play it without pads. That's how crazy we were when we were that age. We used to go out and play on Sundays after the pro football games, where we'd always go play sandlot ball, and our coach would be so mad at us when we come back Monday, because we'd have more injuries from that than playing on Friday night.
Absolutely.
Tried to make that a taboo, but you don't see kids playing sandlot ball like they used to.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the injury issues or what, but yeah. Holly was giving me the old video game thumbs there, so I don't know. We played the game as much as we could when we were kids. All right, here comes a kickoff after the safety for Northwestern's. Oh, a booming kick. Well, they're going to take it all the way at the 30-yard line. Here comes Western with some running room, getting up to about the 45, 46-yard line. Returning that kick for Western was number 5, Jake Stout. So he's giving Western some decent field position here on their first possession here on offense of the second half. if the intensity is matched on offense that we saw on the Western defense, they should be able to move the ball right now.
I would think so, and I think the attitude is going to go back. We're going right at them.
1st and 10, handoff to Bellis right up the middle like you called there, Coach. And boy, nice run for Ryan Alexander. He gets about 8-9 yards on that first carry. And well, you described it at halftime how that Northwestern defense is really doing a great job of sealing the edge. Going right up the middle is a likely soft spot for that Northwestern defense, and we saw it on that play for sure.
That's where they're going to have to attack up the middle, and they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit.
Bellis now, he's going to do another nice razzle-dazzle handoff, but although they moved the pile somewhat, it was a great pursuit by the Northwestern defense. It's going to be just a yard or two. We'll see if it's enough for the first down. They're taking a look at this thing, and I think their bird's eye on this thing is going to maintain a 3rd and short now for the Western Panthers. This is a big play for this offense to establish offensive momentum for the Panthers against this very, very disciplined Northwestern defense here tonight. Bellis up to the line, under center, hands it off, and wow, I'll tell you what, great pursuit for Northwestern too. At the bottom of the pile for Northwestern was their number 86, Derek Dubett. And he helped, although it was a short gain, enough for the first down. That's all they got on that 3rd down conversion. So it's 1st and 10. We're just inside the 45-yard line of Tigers territory. Panthers trying to show some prowess here on offense for the first time, and they've got their first down to show so far. Bellis hands it off again. They go right at the tackle, and I'll tell you, well, the first collision, linebacker Austin Pyle stood him up, and then the rest of the pursuit finished off the ball carrier. Was that Ben Lenahan?
Yeah, it was Ben Lenahan.
Yeah, for Western with the ball. Now, timeout is called on the field. It looks like a referee timeout. The ball is spotted at about the 42-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 7, it looks like, for the Western Panthers, who are showing a momentum change here in the second half, a safety for the defense against the Northwestern offense to get their first possession here and the first score, 2 points for them. Now they're trying to move the ball up the middle. There's Alexander with a lot of running room that time, and he hangs on to the ball, gets into about the 35-yard line. Looks like they marked his knees down. A flag is on the field as well. Put it at about the 36-yard line for Western, but we are calling a personal foul against Northwestern, and that's going to add on to that big run from Alexander right there for Western. And they are moving the ball closer and closer to their first score on offense here, coming in the second half.
That previous play was very interesting. Western came out more of in a spread offense and stretched their defense with the formation, and then they hit it right up the middle.
Wow, look at that. A 15-yard penalty tacked on to a big run, and I'll tell you what, we're inside the 20-yard line. Call it the red zone here in football. This is scoring territory. Western is getting as close as they have gotten in this entire game here on this drive. Gives it to the second man. Lanahan gets about 3, 4, 5 yards on that carry. Nice fake to Alexander. It kind of froze the linebackers for Northwestern there for a moment. And then Lanahan went right through the hole.
Right through the hole, yep.
Well, I tell you, you can tell
we're at
there's a different attitude. Yeah, second and 1. Inside, near the 5-yard line, ball is set actually at the 6. Up the middle again. Oh, gosh, lots of contact there at the trench. But little something and maybe enough for a first down. We'll wait and see how they spot the ball. And they call a timeout. Looks like they might call for a measurement. It's that close. No, they give it to him. First down for the Western Panthers.
That was an impressive tackle by Jake Vent, number 50.
Yeah,
number 51.
Scrappy player right there. Ball on the 3. Panthers threatening on offense for the first time in the ball game. Handed off up the middle. That's Alexander. He gets the touchdown for the Panthers. What a change of momentum now in this ball game, just as we talked about at halftime. After the defense gets a safety, the offense responds with their first touchdown of the game, and the Western Panthers are marching back here in the second half of this game under the lights down here at Northwestern.
absolutely came back out and did what they do best, run the football straight at defenses.
Never had to pull the pass play out in that drive, but the penalty helped, of course, and now we'll look for a conversion here. Ball's down, and the kick is up, and it looks like it's good. Check it out. All of a sudden now it's 14-9, and we're in the third quarter of this contest here at Northwestern. Northwestern had a 14-0 lead at half. Northwestern scored on defense with a safety and now has scored for the first time on offense. And as we talked about at halftime again, that has been Western's pattern this year,
Yes,
is
it
being
has.
stronger in the second half
In
than
the
in the
first three
first.
games, they come back out. I don't know whether they make adjustments or the athletes just get hard nosed and say we're gonna take this game away. We're gonna win it. But that's what Western's been doing.
Well, I tell you, as a former player and coach, I like it under the lights.
I do too.
It just brings out more football out of me anyway, and I think a lot of guys who played this game probably agree. There's just nothing more thrilling than being out there as a varsity player under the lights on a Friday night.
Absolutely.
And when you get that kind of atmosphere, finally, this time of year, not until the second half, maybe that's when some players finally get their mojo and they can get going here in the second half, and that's exactly what the Panthers have done.
This is very important for the special teams, the Panthers here, to get a good kickoff and get them in poor field position again, Northwestern. For Northwestern, it's very important that they try to get the field position back and get something positive out of this.
Western to kick off for the second time here in the second half. Just under 8 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Both teams were undefeated going into this game, and a booming kick all the way into the end zone. This one's going to roll. He's going to have to kneel it down here.
There we go.
They blow the ball dead. Bring it back out to the 20.
Yep.
That's
high
where the
school
Tigers
football,
will start.
As soon as that ball goes across the goal line,
That's the
dead.
deal.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah, it's important to explain that because, we watch different levels of football on television all the time, and, they're not exactly the same rules everywhere you go.
No, it is not. Well, we used to see, we're used to seeing on Sunday Pro Football and on Thursday and Monday, and you can run that ball out of the end zone on the kickoff there.
All right, we'll see what the Panthers defense has in store for the Tigers on this second possession for Northwestern here in the second half. Ball at the 20, 1st and 10. Quarterback Trey Richmond back in the game. And we left him laying there after that safety in the last possession, but it's good to see him back at the helm for Northwestern as they get about a 2-yard gain on the play. 2nd and about 8 for the Tigers. Look at the size of that line, though. I mean, we brought in a big gun here, number 73 for Western. That's a big boy right there. I think that's their 300-pounder. He's changed his number. I noticed he had a different number on last weekend's game too. But they got a lineman who's a 300-pounder, and I think he's wearing number 73 right now for
Demetrius.
Yeah, Demetrius Linville. Is that the
Yes.
guy? Yeah. He's about a 300-pounder, and he made a difference in that Taylor game last week for Western, and he's in here in the second half as well, and he takes up a lot of space. If we can get a camera shot on White, number 73, he's a big boy for a high school football player, let me tell you.
Yes, he is.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and about, they're calling it 3rd and 2. It's a long 2 for the Tigers here to convert on this 3rd down play. Nice ground shot for you here in high def. You can see that big number 73 in the line. He's a big guy. Hard to move him. Back to pass this time. That ball was tipped and no flag on the play. The Panthers defense holds on 3rd down. Trey Richmond threw that ball into single coverage, and I tell you, the ball just went up the air. It could have been caught by another receiver, and it could have been intercepted at the same time.
Excellent defense by the Panthers, and when that ball gets tipped in high school football, you can interfere with any receiver you'd like to on the field. There is no pass interference after the ball being tipped.
Punt formation for the Tigers now, 4th down. And that was another great defensive sequence for the Western Panthers. A high kick, doesn't go very far, lands around the 50, takes a great Western bounce, and then they knock it around and knock it back to the other side of the 50. So the Panthers are going to start their second offensive possession here in the second half at about the 47-yard line in their own territory, and a chance to come within a score of Northwestern, and it'll be their third score of the half. And
You've coached football, Alan.
Yeah.
I've coached football, and we would tend to agree right now. I think the momentum has changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's amazing how things change after the lights come on.
And I think they'll go straight at him again.
Bellis hands off, and that goes right up the middle for Lanahan, and he's got at least enough for another first down here. Is, boy, I tell you, the offensive line for Western, and let's mention these guys. Big number 70, Sidney Allen, 74, David Grimmie. The center, number 58, Logan Shepard. The guard, number 62, Brett Boswell. And the tackle, number 53, Dante Graham. They are really stepping up here in this second half. And, oh, what a great defensive play. Wow, Bellis kept the ball. Faked me out at that time. Great key on Ben Lanahan. They were right on him. In fact, Billy Parslow, that defensive end for Northwestern, tackled him thinking he had the ball. I thought he had the ball. Bellis kept it and got about a 5-yard gain out of the deal. You mentioned in the pregame, Bellis is one of the, not the leading rusher for Western, but he's got a lot of yards rushing the ball.
Yeah, he averages, I believe, around 8 yards when he keeps the ball. He's a strong runner for Western, the quarterback.
Drew Bellis, Western quarterback, hands it off this time. Nice cut as he gets past the edge and gains more yardage for the Panthers. That was Ryan Alexander, number 20, the ball carrier, and he's short of the first down, but he's knocking on the door. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and short. They run the play in from the sideline. Big 3rd down conversion now for the Western Panthers, who have been a totally different team here in the second half than they were in the first. Bellis under center, takes a snap, hands off, lots of push. Boy, I tell you what, the battle of the trenches is being won by the Panthers here in the second half, and that's more than they need for a first down. Let's move the chains and get ready for 1st and 10.
Yes, it is. The Panthers are winning the battle in the trenches right now in the third quarter. No doubt about it.
But that's what you coach. You know, you coach the mind, you know. As far as physicalness goes, I mean, these are high school athletes. They're all very similar with their athleticism, you know, especially in the trenches. It's about the mind, you know, about finesse. Here come the Panthers. 1st and 10. He pitches it out to Alexander. He's trying to get the speed to get outside, but he can't do it because the Tigers have done a great job at sealing the edge all night long, and 2 of the Tigers defenders out there to catch Alexander, and that's a big loss on 1st down.
Yeah, number 61 for the Northwestern Tigers, Alex Jones made the hit.
Well, they gave him great field position, though, as far as forward progress, because they only lost about a yard. So it's 2nd and 11 now for the Panthers, but, boy, they've been Northwestern's been tough to run on here on the outside all through the game.
Looks like we got some form of blitz coming the wide side of the field.
Boy, just gets his way past the initial contact behind the line of scrimmage, and Lanahan gets enough for maybe another first down for Western. It's going to be close, and he's going to be maybe half a yard short of the first down. Another 3rd down coming up for Western.
Have a measurement here.
They stop the clock, and, boy, the Panthers were ready to go to the ball. Let's do this thing. But they might have a shot at this thing. We're going to see a measurement now. Zoom in on the ball here, and I think they're going to be short of the first down. Yeah, they're about a foot and a half away from the first down, so 3rd down coming up for the Western Panthers. And they have certainly had the momentum at the line of scrimmage to make their way across for another first down here. Bellis brings the Panthers to the line. They have had the advantage, especially between the tackles here in the second half. Hands off to Lanahan. He is fighting his way for a first down. Should have enough forward progress to get it past the first down marker, and he does. Boy, I tell you what, two football players meeting each other standing up right there. You notice that? It was not easy to tackle.
Yeah.
You can't tackle Lanahan high. It was quite a wrestling match to get into the ground, but well, you gotta get a good form tackle on that big load.
Now it looks like Western's kind of spread their offense again.
Yes, they have.
And they go right up the middle when they like to do that. They spread it,
single.
and it seems.
Oh, he's going to break away to the touchdown. Yep. Western. What a move. Well, wait, we've got Western touchdown here. Number 21, Christian Glenn takes the carry up the middle and gets another score for the Panthers as they come within. Actually, they take the lead with that touchdown. Extra point comes to maybe get a 2-point advantage coming up for the Panthers. What a run. And we talked about how Western came out and spread that defense out, especially with two men to the right.
That's the second time I've seen that formation, and they run that same little counter on the inside to the ace-back, but they spread them out. And what that does is it takes linebacker play outside, it stretches them, and they don't have the pursuit, and they don't have the load they need for in the middle.
2-point conversion attempt for Western is good. Alexander carries that ball off the right tackle. And that's a 2-point conversion for Western, and now they have a 3-point lead on the Tigers. It has been all Western here in the second half. Now it's time for Northwestern to regroup, get back to their basics, and get back to moving the ball and scoring points. And I'll tell you, it's been a wild third quarter here, but wild as the Panthers have had 3 scores, a safety and 2 touchdowns. Add a 2-point conversion to the last touchdown. It's now 17-14, and there's a whole lot of football left to play.
There sure is. Western does a nice job moving the ball. They came out and did exactly what they needed to do, run at this defense. I think Nate, also the head coach at Western, made a nice adjustment with starting to spread Northwestern's defense with formation and then hit in the middle. I think it made a big difference.
Well, that's the finesse we talk about with play calling, and that puts a defense on its heels. We had just a moment ago a nice video shot of the student section from Western as they were having some fun on the opposite side of the field. Coaches are addressing those Northwestern players and got to get their minds settled down as they're on the bench taking a break. This will be Western's third kickoff here in the second half. And now with a 17-14 lead, it is a whole new ball game to say the least. And we'll see if the Tigers can regroup and get that ball moving as easy here in the second half now as they did in the first half, because that's what they need to keep up with Western.
Alan, you said this is going to be a great football game, and it is.
All the way. All right. We're going to get a return out to the 10-yard line. Makes a spin move, and, boy, that's inside the 15-yard line where the Tigers are going to set up here. Was that Micah Beard with the return for Northwestern?
It looked like the tackle was made by number 27 right here. Cannon.
Oh, Braden Cannon.
Yeah, Braden Cannon. Yeah, nice tackle.
All right. Northwestern with the ball. 3:29 left in this third quarter. Now they're behind by 3. And we'll see what kind of finesse they bring to the offensive play calling. Up the middle they go. And that 4-3 defense of the Panthers stuffs the play with little gain here on first down. It's almost the opposite as far as the strengths of the Western defense to what the strengths of the Northwestern defense are. I think Western is tough in the trench between the tackles. They have a great prowess there from their defensive line. They have a little bit more of a weakness covering the edge, and you can get outside on Western.
I would agree with that. We haven't seen much of Mr. Plummer, that ace back. Not much.
Not here in a second here.
No.
He stands up. He's going to go back to pass. Oh, that's caught. Nice move for Northwestern. That was a great ball delivered by Trey Richmond. Boy, you talk about a football thrown on a rope, and he hit what I think has been his favorite receiver. Well, no, it wasn't. It was, he had a penalty?
No, first down.
Oh, just a first down on the play. Okay.
First down play.
Well, he's thrown this thing to Logan Galbraith. I think that's the number 10 that has been a nice surprise here. Yeah, Logan Galbraith there with the reception. He's had a couple of nice catches from Trey Richmond. But the other kid, Keegan Downing, number 80, he's had some big catches here for Northwestern here tonight too. So sometimes it's hard to tell if it's the number 10 or the number 80 getting the ball. That last time it was the number 10. I formation backfield for Northwestern. They hand off this time, and that is going to be Plummer. And, boy, I tell you, again, trying to go off tackle, you got to try and pitch that ball out wider to get outside of that defense.
I think the defensive coach has talked to linebacker play and the defensive ends about Mr. Plummer running the football, that they may be keying him just a little more.
Well, and that's always, that is a tendency a lot of times in this game. And, well, that's the time when you fake them all out,
use him as a decoy.
Fake a carry to him and go back to pass. And, boy, you could have a big play in that scenario. Now, Northwestern spreads out the defense this time. Wide out to the left. Back to pass. He's looking. He gets outside. Oh, that's off the hands. That pass a little long that time as he waited a little too long to throw that ball. Looked like that was trying to go out to, I can't tell who he was trying to throw that to. Here comes the number 80 back into the game for Northwestern, and he's been a great target. Number 80, Keegan Downing's been a great receiving target for Trey Richmond here tonight. It is 3rd and long. Back to pass. Here goes Richmond. He looks across the middle, and look where he goes to. Number 80, fumbles the ball.
There's a fumble.
Western's going to get that ball, and I'll tell you what, the play had potential, and if Keegan Downing could have hung onto the ball and finished that play, it may have been enough for a first down, but he coughs up the ball. Western recovers the fumble. Another turnover for Northwestern here. And now the Western Panthers have a chance to really do some damage and pull within, a score and a half lead of Northwestern here in the second half.
And right now I can remember times being down on the sideline. When I see the helmets go down on my defense like that, that means we've got trouble.
All right, handoff to Alexander. He's got a lot of running room. He kicks outside. He's got some more running room. He keeps fighting the defense. He's got enough room, and he looks like he's going to score a touchdown. What a run. Right up the middle. Kicked it outside. The number 20, Ryan Alexander, gets another score for the Western Panthers. That really opens this thing up for the Panthers, and they've got the Northwestern Tigers on their heels here in the second half. Boy, a 23-point third quarter to this point already, and it looks like they're going to try and kick an extra point this time to try and add one more point to this outstanding third quarter from the Western Panthers.
So far, Northwestern hasn't got an answer for this offense of Westerns, and the only thing that I can say is in the first half that really looks different is when Northwestern's offense was on the field most of the time. That's the best defense in the world for Northwestern. Right now, they're not moving the ball, and the passing game has left them.
Conversion was good, 24-14, a 10-point lead now for Western. A 24-point third quarter. I mean, it's almost unbelievable in a way to see what the turnaround has been. However, this has been the pattern for the Western Panthers this season in all 3 of their wins leading up to tonight. And right now, a commanding lead for Western as they are set to kick off for the 4th time to the Northwestern Tigers here in the second half. And the scoring has been a 2-point safety for the defense to start the scoring in this quarter, and then 3 consecutive touchdowns based on a couple of turnovers from Northwestern. And now the score is 24-14. Panthers in command here with a minute 27 left in the third quarter and a whole 4th yet to come. You're watching high-definition video coverage of this great football game tonight, courtesy of FastPlaySports.com. I'm Alan James along with Mark Hollingsworth. who has coached many of the teams in this region, including stints at both of these teams at one time or another,
yes.
right? It's good to have Holly up here in the booth with us tonight. Here comes the Panthers and their 4th kickoff here in the second half, and this one's going to be caught about the 2-yard line. He's going to come and bring it out, and gets it out to about the 20-yard line. Looks like we're seeing Josiah Riddle, or was it Hullum there that time with the kickoff return. We'll set
Isaac
the ball.
Carter was made the tackle on that return, senior for Western.
These are two upperclassmen heavy teams, lots of seniors and a sprinkle of juniors. Very few underclassmen on the field tonight for these two varsity squads. So experience is there, and now Northwestern's going to have to reach down and find theirs as they are down by 10 points down this third quarter. Richmond's back to pass. He rolls out, and he's going to get his man. Enough for a first down. A nice first down pass play. Wide open, Logan Macalusa. He comes out of the backfield and gets that pass from Trey Richmond. And really, this is the confidence they've had in the first half. They're finally reaching down and finding it here in the second half.
That was a nice pass play. It was a nice, what we used to call trailer. We would run out one receiver, pull the DB out towards the sideline, the guy right behind him running the same pattern, and it's very hard for the linebacker to cover that hook zone that quickly. So it's very hard for him to get out there. Nice pattern.
Very nice. First down now, 10 yards to go. Clock ticking away here in this second half. Boy, there's Plummer coming outside like we talked about, and he gets a nice carry on first down. Looks like it's going to be about an 8.5 yard carry. Nice first down run for Northwestern. Plummer, who's got some great speed to burst to the edge, gets outside of that Western defense.
Northwestern going back to what was successful in the first half. They hit the outside, they fled zone at the outside, and they've been fortunate there, and it's been very productive for them.
Austin Miller, number 33, checks into the game for Northwestern on this. They spread this team out. Look at all 3 receivers to the left, and they hand it off. That's going to be Plummer once again, but he is going to be close to the first down marker. Nice stop linebacker core for the Western Panthers coming up, but it's enough for a first down, and we'll reset it here as now there's just a few seconds left. They're going to roll the clock all the way to the end here to end the third quarter of play. It's been an exciting game. It was all Northwestern in the first half, 14-0 at half, and now 24 consecutive points for the Western Panthers. They now have the lead, 24-14. After 3, we'll bring you the fourth quarter coming up here in FastPlaySports.com. That's right, we are Fast Play.
Let's look a little closer at Kokomo, Indiana, and we see what an economic comeback looks like. What open for business and open for new opportunities looks like. We see how leadership in the region can be an example to a nation, and reinvention will lead the way to new possibilities. This is the story of leadership through the generations, the story of a greater Kokomo.
Reset the clock at 12 minutes. That's what's left to play in this ball game. Fourth quarter begins with the Tigers at first down on the 46-yard line. Back to pass goes Richmond. He cuts across the middle, overthrows everybody on the field, and a good thing because I tell you, Western had 2 men in coverage against the receiver for Northwestern. That could have been intercepted very easily, but Richmond threw the ball long, and that goes incomplete.
At 12 yards deep, both receivers crossed, and you're right, that could have been intercepted.
That could have been.
Yeah.
But 2nd and 10 is coming up for the Tigers, and they have had a fairly decent drive here since they got the ball back here. This is only, their third possession here in the second half.
I would expect Plummer sweep again outside.
They spread it out. Here comes Plummer, just like you said. He cuts back to the inside, goes to the right, but the pursuit of the Panthers defense puts a stop to that. Austin Burnt, that big lineman for number 78, didn't get sucked into the sweep, stayed home and caught Plummer on his way back when he tried to cut back.
Nice job out here with the defense turning the play back inside to the linebacker flow, and the lineman pursuing down the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
Well, this is the kind of stuff we were talking about. Western in the first half, a big 3rd down for Northwestern this time. 3rd and long, and they got to have this one if they want to stay in this ball game. Back to pass goes Richmond. Oh, man, he puts up that ball goes out of bounds. But, again, off his mark, that ball, when you're teaching a quarterback to play, a kid who's 6'2", you assume he's got some big hands, and that one seemed to get out of his hands before he finished his throwing motion.
I really believe also you got to credit the Western defense, because as soon as he let that ball go, he got hit by a Western defender, and he didn't have a lot of time to throw that football.
The pressure.
And we've got to remember, he's a freshman.
That's right, but he's having an awesome game.
Oh, isn't he ever?
Punt formation for the Northwestern Tigers here on 4th down, and they don't want to give the Panthers too good a field position here, so this is an important punt, but look who's back to do the punting. That's the quarterback, Trey
They're going to get a delay of game.
Oh, are they now? Oh, no, they call timeout.
Oh, they got the timeout in. Yeah, they were short one man. There was only 10 on the field.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know. Is Trey the regular punter for Northwestern? Has he scored in that position? Do you know?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, it gives them great advantage if they wanted to do a razzle-dazzle right now.
Yeah, fake the punt.
I don't know. 4th and long, maybe not with this field position, but
we got 11-11 left to play, and he has been moving the football, so maybe this might not be a good idea to fake it here, but who knows?
My best recollection so far in this game, the average scoring drive for both teams is anywhere between 2 and 3.5 minutes. That's all. And they've had good 10 to 20-yard plays through running and passing, and both teams have been able to score relatively quick. So with a little more than 11 minutes left in the game, you could say we've got 3 or 4 more scoring opportunities left. Just which team is going to get them if they can actually finish the job. But that's what the game has seen so far, is about 2 to 3.5 minute scoring drives from each of these teams. So it can be done.
Yes, it can.
It's Trey Richmond back deep for the punt. And then we've got Western up close. Oh, I thought he was going to throw there. What a punt. Well, he got all of that. And, boy, what a nice roll into the end zone. Yeah, it hits the end zone. But that's some manageable field position as Northwestern's defense is going to come back out. This is maybe some of the worst field position Western has seen on offense all game. So
I believe so.
Your play calling changes depending on where your field position is. And they've got 1st down and 10 on the 20. That's 80 yards to the end zone. They seem to have had a much different play calling situation when they have that big a deficit in terms of yardage to go to score. 1st and 10 for Western. Drew Bellis brings.
Oh, he spread his offense again.
Yep,
Watch for that counter.
3 wide to the left. Here comes Bellis under center, and he hands off up the middle. And that is stuffed by the Northwestern defense. The line not giving a whole lot on that 1st down play. In fact, I don't even know if he gained anything on that play. That was a battle in the trenches won by the Northwestern defense. Score him maybe 1.5 yards to 2 yards on that carry, but it wasn't easy at all. Some big linemen for Northwestern in the tackle positions there on the defense, and they held their own on that last play from Western. Keep everybody in tight. Bellis under center. And this time he hands off. Well, that's
the initial hole was filled. He bounced off of it and got a few yards. Struggled for him.
Yeah, that would have been Ben Lanahan, who's been strong inside the tackles for Western tonight. I don't know his total yardage at this point, but he had a strong first half, even though he hadn't had a chance to score. This is a big 3rd down at about 4 for Western. Critical down for Northwestern. They really got to stop the Panthers here, get the ball back, and mount a scoring drive. Bellis under center. He hands off up the middle. Very conservative, very much what they've been doing, and he's got enough for the first down. That was a bruising run from Ben Lanahan once again, and he has been carrying a thrust of those difficult yards up the middle for Western all night, and that time he gets a first down, and that keeps the chains moving and keeps the ball
Number 53
in Western's
on that
hand.
last play, Dante Graham. He was the trapping guard on that play up the middle.
Oh, that play stopped at the line of scrimmage as Bellis hands off once again. It looked like, is it Lanahan once again, or I think Bellis actually kept it on that play, and just really no running room at all. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Panthers, and the clock continues to roll too at just over 9 minutes to play in the game. Western with a more comfortable 10-point lead on Northwestern. It was a 24-point third quarter that put the Panthers in this lead. It has been quite a battle, and Bellis goes outside. He's got some running room, and he's bruising his way to another first down for the Panthers. Boy, I tell you, we know that they'll call his number to keep the ball, and we're talking about quarterback Drew Bellis, but that time not only did he keep it, but he ran through some tacklers and continued to keep this drive alive for the Panthers as they're trying to take the time off the clock and stay undefeated here in the MIC by defeating the Northwestern Tigers tonight. So that's the goal, and Bellis as the quarterback is not gonna compromise it. Up the middle that time. It was like Alexander with the ball that time. He's had an excellent game here for the Panthers. So here we go. Clock is ticking. Northwestern has got to put a stop to Western now, and it's an exact opposite. Things have just flipped completely opposite here from the first half to the second half.
They sure have. That's a characteristic of Western so far in this season. They play kind of mediocre the first and second quarter, and then they come out and they explode.
Western spreads wide to the right side of their offense, but they call, this is Bellis once again. He keeps it. He's a tough quarterback. Boy, a swarming group of linemen and linebackers there on Bellis, and they really hold him to a small loss on the play, I think. Yep, bring it back about a yard. Billy Parslow for Northwestern, one of those seniors, defensive end, came in there and wouldn't let go of Bellis, and he held that to a loss on the play. 3rd and about 8 is what the Panthers have here, and let's really put more of the focus on the Tigers right now. It's 3rd and 8. They've got to have a stop right here.
They need a stop. It's very important.
Boy, a little counter action. Oh, Alexander breaks out of the open. He's got enough for a first down right there. That's going to move the chains. And, boy, I tell you, you are playing defense, and they bit on the fake, and everybody went left with the fake. Alexander cuts back to the right side of that defense and had 12 yards of running room for another first down for the Panthers.
Absolutely nice play calling there. It was misdirection. Great job.
1st and 10. Clock ticking here in the 4th quarter. Bellis under center. He's going to throw this time. Oh, pressure from the defense. Now he gets the ball away. Overthrown. But I'll tell you, that goes to show the arm that Bellis has. He got flustered because of the pressure from Northwestern on that play, but had he calmed down a little bit, that might have been a completion to Dustin Hinkle. Dustin Hinkle, number 10, the receiver on the play, but that pressure on Bellis is what caused that incompletion.
I thought Bellis did a nice job avoiding the sack and looking downfield after that, and did a nice,
got a little excited.
Pass. Yeah, yeah,
a little too much oomph. 2nd down now and 10 to go. That's going to be Bellis keeping it to the left, and look at him go. That's a 5-yard carry for the quarterback once again, and going into this game, he was averaging 8 yards per carry.
8 yards per carry.
Yeah.
The quarterback.
It's going to be 3rd down for Western right now, and this is another opportunity for Northwestern to stop the Western Panthers and get that ball back They got plenty of time to get down and score if they can stop Western right here. A no gain right here might cause them to think more about punting instead of going for it on 4th down. Bellis hands off up front. Oh, lots of Northwestern Tigers at the line bring Alexander down with no gain, and that's exactly what the defense needed to do. 4th down now for Western. They are on the 40-yard line, and it looks like they are going into punt formation.
That's who made the mistake.
Karen Hullman, number 23, he's deep for the Tigers to receive this punt. Clock rolling, 5:38 to go in the game. Western taking its time. Corey Hinkle, the punter. I think it's his first punt of the game, isn't it, for Western?
Think so.
I don't think they've really punted yet in this game. And that's a decent one. Fair catch is called, and it's the other deep man that receives that punt for Northwestern. And that looks like I want to say the number 33 there. Yeah, Austin Miller. Nice job of looking the ball all the way in and not fumbling, because that could have been.
He gave the fair catch signal also. Yeah.
Well, you give the fair catch, you can still drop it.
Oh, yeah, you drop
Western
it. That's anybody's ball. Did a nice job fielding the ball.
Great work, the special teams for Northwestern, to give their offense a chance to go down the field. They've got a long way to go. The ball set on the 14-yard line. 1st and 10. 5 minutes, 17 seconds left in the game. Trey Richmond, as a freshman, has had a great game. Look at that pass. It's caught and brought down near the 24-yard line, nearly a 10-yard gain on the play. Caught by number 20, Ryan Alexander. No, I take that back. I got the wrong one out. This is the number 20 for Northwestern, isn't it? Or is it 28?
It's 28.
Evan Matlock? Okay.
Yep.
I guess there's 1st and 10 now. Is trying to tell what the referees are trying to do there.
No, we've got 2nd and short.
It's okay, 2nd and short. That's the issue. Okay. As they set the ball, they've stopped the clock. 5:03. And the officials call a timeout. They want to measure, and that's kind of where the confusion has been on the field. As we get ourselves back on track, too. A lot of substitutes coming in here in the second half. And that's a difficult thing for a coach to have to do, too, is you start to pick and choose players that you think might give you that spark, and you pull a starter off the field, and, well, that's a gamble.
Well, and sometimes you have to realize that, Coach Hendricks down there has probably different packages that he goes to, because now he's down with 5 minutes to go. He needs to score twice, and basically what he's thinking is he's going to have to throw the football. So different people come in for throwing the football. There's no doubt about it. Western may get that attitude on defense also, that they may change some of their outside linebackers to DBs.
Evan Matlock, who get a little more work in the second half, is in the ball game too. We got 3 wides out. And
one-on-one coverage.
Intercepted.
And intercepted.
Oh, man. He laid that ball up there in kind of a fade fashion. Jake Stout had a good beat on it, and he leaped up and intercepted that pass from freshman Trey Richmond, and the turnover again puts the ball back into the Western Panthers' hands. And, boy, with under 5 minutes to go here in this game, it's just becoming more and more like we're going to see a Panthers win here tonight.
Yeah, and it's the whole characteristics of this game has changed. Western was the one doing the turnovers. They had the fumbles in the first half. They had the miscues on penalties, and now it's just changed. It's Northwestern is doing that.
Well, it all comes from just little things, scoring and things of that nature that cause the whole momentum of the game to change. And run up the middle this time, decent yardage on the carry. From the bottom of the pile, it looks like Alexander, who had about half of the Northwestern defense on top of him at the end of that run, gets about 4 yards on that carry, brings up 2nd down, and more importantly, the clock, which is rolling with 4:27 to go. No one in white on the field is in a hurry. Now they bring.
We're down to 4 seconds. They're going to have to use a timeout, or they're going to get a delay of game.
Yep, there it is. Whistle blows. Delay of game now called on Western, so they're going to lose 5 yards and have to start all over on this particular drive. So it'll be 2nd and about 11 now for Western as they try to get their play called quickly. You know, you got to balance that. It's hard. You want to run time off the clock while you're setting up for the play, but that time they took too long.
They took way too long, yeah. It would be better to get the play in quickly and let the quarterback set his offense and watch the clock go down and get the snap off.
A little indecision there,
yes.
I think, of getting the play into the huddle. That stops the clock for Northwestern's benefit. Here we go. Bellis hands it off. Oh, another big run for Ben Lanahan. He has just been a workhorse here tonight, and he's going to get a bunch of that yardage back. In fact, give him a 3rd and short down and distance for Western.
Allen, they went back to that spread-out formation with one ace back, and they popped the young man right up the middle, and, of course, it hurt Northwestern again.
And now we bring out another spread situation. Spreads the Northwestern defense out. Lanahan in the backfield. Well, another keeper for Bellis, but a swarming Northwestern defense drops him for a loss. That was a design run play for Bellis once again, and he's had some success there tonight. But Northwestern comes up to stuff him there, and a couple yards loss will bring up about 4th and 5. And it's going to be another punt formation for Western here with just more than 3 minutes left in the game and enough time for Northwestern to at least have a scoring drive. Hinkle, the punter. One player deep for Northwestern. He fumbles it. He fumbles it, and he gets back on top of that ball. Number 23 for Northwestern, Heron Hallman's been doing some of these receiving duties there, but that could have been a disaster had he fumbled it. Then field position, not the greatest for Northwestern, but they've got the ball back here with 2:43 left in the game. The ball being set on the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and they've got to work quick. Looks like we've got a shotgun formation this time, giving some time to throw, and he overthrows the intended receiver. Looked like that was Hullum again, who Richmond was trying to connect with on that first down pass play. Had him open in the flat. He just threw the ball off the mark.
He just threw it over him. You're asking a freshman a lot to do in this situation. 2:35 to go, score 24-14. But this is how they mature. This is how they learn.
Yeah, and as you look at it, Richmond doesn't think of himself as a freshman. He's a starting varsity quarterback.
Obvious.
He's got to do the job. That's how he feels. He doesn't look at himself like a underclassman. He's got the job, and he's got to do it. Throws off his back heel, but he connects this time, and the Western defense is right there to drop number 27. That's Tanner Woodrick for Northwestern with the reception. Moves the yard marker at least a little distance, about 3rd and 6 here. This is a big 3rd down play for Northwestern. They got to have this one.
Richmond looking over at the Northwestern sideline for the play. He's got it. Goes underneath.
Under center this time. He's back to pass again. Oh, my gosh. There was Bellis.
Bellis
was in the backfield, knocks the ball loose. Western picks it up. They're fighting at the goal line. It's close. Did he get in?
Again.
He fumbled again. Wait, no, it's Western's ball. Ball inside the 5, near the goal line for Western. And, this is just the worst outcome for any hope of a comeback here for Northwestern here in the second half. Thwarted by that hit, as it was quarterback on quarterback, technically, because Bellis plays both ways for Western. He was untouched into the backfield, gets the sack, forces the fumble, and now it's Western ball. Looks like they're giving it to him just inside, right near the 5-yard line here. Looks like it might be the 4. And what will Western do? Do you march it in right away, or you just try to?
Well, I don't think Western will try to
left.
score. I think Western will do what they do. They'll run the football straight at them.
And there it is, and That goes into the end zone, and it's a score. Well, that does it. That gives Western a big lead as Ryan Alexander took the carry from Bellis that time and right into the end zone. And that is, well, it's one of those situations where the fans get up and they start leaving.
That's exactly correct.
I don't know what other way to put it, but I see the fans starting to head to the exits here on the Northwestern side, while on the other side, the Western Panthers fans who are also seemingly getting up and getting ready to go. This game has been sealed. Although that extra point was no good, it's a big lead for Western here with under 2 minutes to play. 30-14 now. Unbelievable change of events. Unbelievable because, you know, Northwestern had such command in the first half, but it was based on some miscues by Western, and they were, you know, the Tigers were able to score, but it just, you know, after the half, you just felt a change with the lights coming on and a chance to talk, a long halftime with the band out there at halftime. It's been all Western here in the second half.
It sure has. I think Western got caught in the first half, not expecting Northwestern to pass so much, and the success that they had with the pass combined with the run. In the first half, they were basically pass and run even on statistics and did a nice job. This half, Western came out and did what they do, and they ran the football at them and maintained ball possession. And like I said, the best defense in the world. When I coach defense, the best defense in the world is when your offense is on the field.
Amen to that. Well, I'll tell you, this is one of those games where, you know, it's just two different halves. It was
sure was.
14 points scored for Northwestern in the first half, and now 31 points. It's really 30 points. Score is actually 30-14. But it's a 30-point second half for Western, and they just absolutely dominated. And of course, with that last score that Western had, that was a gift from a turnover.
It was a turnover.
So I mean, it's just we saw so many turnovers for Northwestern here in the second half. It really cost them this game.
Well, it really started out that way in the second half with a safety.
Yeah.
And it's gone downhill ever since then.
Good pursuit from the kicking team for Western as the ball was actually kind of bobbled there by Austin Pyle, who picked it up for Northwestern, and it takes the ball out to just about the 26-yard line here with a minute 48 left to go. Northwestern with perhaps a last-ditch effort to do something here in the second half is about all that we're really expecting, I guess.
I really believe Coach Hendricks, yep.
Boy, pressure. Oh, nice, kind of a screen right there for Northwestern.
Slip screen, yes.
Plummer executes it beautifully. Nice in the open. Good pass from Richmond, and that actually is enough for a first down here for Northwestern. So the clock is stopped as they move the chains. And Northwestern right back to the line here as the clock starts again. There's Richmond back to pass. He's looking. Nice ball to the right side. Try to get out of bounds, but no, the tackle made, keeping him in bounds. Logan Macaluso for, no, I take that back. It was number 12 for Western on that. It was Gabe Stewart. He was the guy who made the tackle and kept him in bounds, and clock should continue to run, but we have a timeout on the field. Well, there you have it. We stop the clock with about a minute 25 left in this game. Western goes to the sideline to talk it over, while Northwestern, as you see on the screen, takes some water, gets some coaching on the field. They've had a really good passing attack tonight, the Tigers have. They just haven't been able to tie enough of them together here in the second half.
Yeah, they've been very consistent in the passing game. I expected to see Northwestern run more, but I go back to that again. I said in the first, before we started this game, I think what will decide this game is special teams and turnovers, and I think turnovers has been a big part of it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Special teams play hasn't been that bad. We haven't seen anything.
No, really hasn't, but
really
the turnovers have been unbelievable. Western had the bug in the first half. Northwestern has the bug now.
Fired out to the left. Nice defense. That's Stout again. He's had a nice game in a couple of different ways. Stand out on defense. Jake Stout for Western here tonight. Nice tackle. About a half a yard gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd and long for Northwestern. We're waiting for the clock to start again, but another timeout is called. So a minute 18 left in the game. See the coaching on the field now for Northwestern.
You know, a lot of people might ask the question why, with a minute 18 left, why Coach Hendricks is doing this. He probably is thinking that there's going to be a situation like this where he's only down 3 points or down 6 points, and where if they could get a quick score here or a play like that in, he's probably coaching the situation here, not the game.
And a lot of fans don't get that.
No, they don't.
They don't understand what's happening. And when you're in a big lead, too, conversely, the opposite, you might want to pass the ball in a game condition because you're trying to really work on your passing game. And people say, well, why are you passing? You're trying to run the score up, and that's not really the case. Not bad timing on that pass play, but just a little high for the receiver that time, as Logan Macalusa could not come down with that pass from Trey Richmond. It had some good timing, but the ball was a little high. 4th down now for Northwestern. That incompletion stops the clock at a minute 14.
Yeah, I believe he's coaching the situation, not this game.
Yeah, and that's there's merit because we're trying to develop student athletes in this situation, and there's nothing like game conditions to teach them the most.
This is definitely a screen. Looked like a screen.
Oh, that ball is a little bit. Whoa, and oh my gosh, he makes the catch. How about that? Well, I thought it was going to be intercepted for a moment, but looks like the star of the second half here for Northwestern, Karen Holman, he comes down with that catch, and it looked like it was about to be intercepted, but 1st and 10 for Northwestern. Just over a minute left in the game, and they're inside the 35-yard line. Richmond back to pass. A nice spiral, but a little long. And it was Hullum, of course, the intended receiver once again. But that'll stop the clock. Northwestern will get a chance to regroup right here. Call a play, and, this kid's got an arm.
He does.
Richmond's got an arm. He could throw it to the end zone from here.
Yes, he could.
A nice cap on a game that they just haven't been able to put it together here in the second half. But a nice ending here for the home crowd would be good medicine for a team that went into this game undefeated. Probably will come out with its first loss of the year, and, of course, take a back seat to the Panthers in the MIC standings. But there's a lot of football left to be played here in this season. Richmond, lots of time. Nice pass, and that one is just off the hands. Boy, I tell you, Logan Galbraith, he's been one that's had a lot of action here in this game as well. And that would have been a nice one for him to hang on to. Would have put the ball inside the 5 for the Tigers, but that ball falls to the ground, and we're going to see a 3rd down attempt with 50 seconds left in this game. Northwestern has the ability to connect on a long-distance pass play right now that could just give them one more score here for pride.
I wonder if Western's
Tiger
defense
pride
philosophy will change here and they'll attack more instead of playing.
Well, they're playing everybody back pretty far right now.
Yes, they
Look
are.
at that.
Wonder if we'll have a blitzer.
All right, Richmond's looking.
He's got plenty of time.
He's going deep down the left side, over through the intended receiver that time, and again that's Hullum. He's been getting the call from quarterback Trey Richmond several times here in this 4th quarter. Now it's 4th down. Now this is, I always look at a situation like this. There's enough time on the clock to continue this, so you don't have to go for the touchdown. Go for the 1st down.
You get the 1st down. Absolutely right. And they're playing you soft underneath also. They don't want the long ball going, so they're playing you soft. Run, the first part of the route like you're going to deep and break off. Get the 1st down.
Shotgun this time. Richmond's back to pass. Lots of time this time. He can look around. He drills the ball right there. 1st down range, and it looks like it may have crossed the 1st down marker.
Alan, you called it.
Well, and they actually called the play right there. It's a 1st down for Northwestern. and they live to play another day, is I guess what we say about that. Clock holding here while they set the yard markers. Now we're rolling. Shotgun formation. He's got to move out of pressure, and he's going to drop the ball. Picked up by Western, and that's going to be the ball game right there. The freshman quarterback had a chance, but he was being chased down. He's limping a bit as he comes off the field right now, but that turnover is going to seal the deal, as if it wasn't sealed already, but just 28 seconds left in the game, and that is all in Western's hands now to just kneel down and end it.
The philosophy of the defense for Western changed. Let's go get him.
Yeah, let's get him, and we got him. Yeah. And we got the ball. Well, that's it. Basically, these teams go to the 50-yard lane to shake hands, and these guys have been playing each other for a long time. This is a lot of upperclassmen with seniors and juniors who have seen each other how many times over the past 5-6 years of middle school and freshman, JV, and varsity football. I mean, I remember this moment as a player, the guys that you remember seeing year after year, and that's what's happening out here.
Absolutely. There's two lines
they respect
crossing.
each other.
One smiling and the other one's frowning. There's no doubt about it.
Well, that was a tale of two halves, to say the least here. And I'll tell you, as you look at the final score, 30-14, you see these players shaking hands on the field. It was a great game. And I'll tell you, this high-definition video, this is something that I hope you folks enjoy as we continue to develop here covering high school athletics. We had a great one here as two MIC teams faced off undefeated. One is going home undefeated, and that is the Western Panthers from Rushville. Northwestern falls to 3-1, and maybe we'll get a word on with that. Well, we know Peru was winning pretty good, and they were the other undefeated team in the MIC, so I guess Peru is the one that Western's going to have to hunt down to win this MIC this year if it keeps going like it is.
Well, I wouldn't count out Hamilton Heights, you know.
Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? You know the coaches, you know the experience of all that. All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and wrap up things here from Northwestern here, FastPlaySports.com. Stay with us here. We are Fast Play.
Let's spend a little time in Kokomo, Indiana. We see what time with friends looks like, what an evening on the town looks like, and a community that knows its history can inspire its future. This is the story we see all around us, the story of a greater Kokomo.
The fans are exiting, the teams are exiting, the media is all exiting, and what a finish, 30-14 as Western comes back from that 14-point halftime deficit, and boy, they totally turned it around, and they scored a ton of points in the third quarter and took over the game. And you really couldn't ask for a better setting for our first time doing high-def video coverage of high school football than this game was going to be. But boy, Western has had some pretty good victories so far this year.
Yes, they have. I think the big key in this ball game was coming out in the third quarter, and when Northwestern was in that situation down with their end zone against their back, and the quarterback went back to pass and was sacked into the end zone for the safety, and then Northwestern punted the ball away, and Western drove down the field and scored. And I think that just took the win out of Northwestern's sails. It just changed the whole characteristic of the game.
Yeah, the tempo was definitely different at that point, and it comes out to be a Western victory here at Northwestern. And we want to thank so many folks that have helped us to make this first high-def video coverage of high school football possible. Of course, we thank everybody here at Northwestern School Corporation. Athletic Director Dan Armstrong was so hospitable to us, so thank you to all the folks here at Northwestern for having us here today. We have a great crew of student camera men and women who are part of the Kokomo Career Center who are working the cameras here tonight. So when you look at the educational element that these webcasts have as well, we're training the TCOM program here as well at the same time. So thanks to Alice McKellar from the Kokomo Career Center for her connections to FastPlaySports.com. Sponsors, well, we thank the city of Kokomo. They are we were using some video that's been produced to kind of feature them as a sponsor, but we'll be certainly looking for sponsors to help us cover the expenses of doing these high-definition video games, etc. So we, if you like what you saw, get in touch with us. We're here on the website. Contact information is there for you here at FastPlaySports.com. And thank everybody else who has been watching here tonight our first time. Now, we didn't really advertise this a whole lot, so I don't know how many folks got onto the website, but we'll notice you on the archive if you come and watch the games down the road. So thanks a lot. I'm Alan James along with Mark Hollingsworth. And, Mark, I thought you did a great job here tonight. It was your first time doing color announcing in any way, shape, or form. You were nervous, but you delivered the passion of football here tonight, and that's what we needed.
Thank you, Alan. I had a great time.
Well, I hope you'll keep doing it now. We got you signed on, right? The contract's in blood. We'll do that down on the track here in a minute, okay? Thanks to everybody who worked inside the booth as well. Our producer, Rob Moss, and, of course, our statistician has been Lauren Christie here tonight. So that's all for our first ever high-definition video coverage of high school football from Northwestern here at FastPlaySports.com. So long from Northwestern. We are Fast Play.